Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second edition of Coffee with Ranjith. My name is Jared Goldsmith, and thank you so much for working with eSAX virtual events. I am going to invite Ranjith up to the stage to take the event away. Thank you so much, folks.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, eSAX, for helping us to make this a reality. Let me take this opportunity to acknowledge the land and where we are. I would like to acknowledge that since I am in Ottawa, I'm on the traditional unceded territory of the Anishinaabe Nation. I recognize that we all work in different places and that therefore you work in a different traditional indigenous territory. We recognize the Algonquins as the customary keepers and defenders of the Ottawa River, watershed, and its tributaries. We honor their long history of welcoming many nations to this beautiful territory and uphold and uplift the voice and values of our host nation. I wish peace all over the world, especially to those countries having conflicts these days. Those who are meeting me for the first time, my name is Ranjith Matthew, presently working as the Manager, Business Development for Neolor Networks Inc. Neolor is a 22-year-old managed IT services and cybersecurity solution company in Ottawa. We are the IT department for many small, medium organizations and for non-profit organizations who doesn't have their own IT department. Prior to joining Neolor, I was working with Canada's oldest private career college as manager for student co-ops and employment. I was blessed to assist over 1,000 new graduates and newcomers to find meaningful employment in their field of studies. I'm also the past president of Junior Chamber International JCI Ottawa, which is a youth leadership organization. In this pandemic, I met many job seekers and newcomers who are struggling to find employment in their field of expertise, and they were unable to connect with the decision makers or the hiring managers. It's truly understand that building new connections is a challenge, especially in this pandemic. So I decided to come up with this concept in association with eSAX and Neolor. We are launched this particular networking session so that people can connect each other. We have great mentors and recruiters and job developers here from many nonprofit organizations. They are here to help all our job seekers. Feel free to connect each other, network each other, build relationships. The whole concept of this particular event came to my mind after receiving the Faces Magazine 2022 People's Choice Award for the Business Development Professional. This could have never happened without the support of this community. So I have to keep thanking everybody. My small little contribution to the giving back to my community is in the way which I can help those job seekers, those struggling people finding employment. I recognize the presence of all the mentors, recruiters, and nonprofit leaders. Can everybody raise your hands for a second so that others know who are the mentors around us? This event could have never happened without the support of these two main sponsors. A big thanks to Gerald Goldsmith and eSAX, and to my current employer, Neolor Networks. We also have table and banner sponsors here. You can see there are virtual banners all over. You can click and reach to their links. Especially, I have to name and thank WorldSkills, JCI Ottawa, JCI Canada, Willis College, Ottawa Jobs, Vanier Community Center, Pinecrest Community Center, Code Youth, Canadian Cyber Forum, INSECM, Canada DevOps Community, the recruiters from LRO Staffing, Osmos, Fast Science, and all other mentors. A big thanks to all. Now, we have an amazing personality with us as our guest speaker tonight. This individual is an international speaker, social entrepreneur, and global philanthropist. She is the president and CEO of Elevate International, co-founder of Naila's Legacy, a UNICEF Canada ambassador, and the current Mrs. Canada World. She is none other than Solange Tuyishime Keita. Let me welcome Solange to the stage. Solange, the stage is yours.
Ranjith, oh my goodness, that introduction in itself. Hi, Rima, I love you. That introduction is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Every time I hear it, I am moved. I think today is a really important day. As you welcome me into this conversation, I thought about what I wanted to share for the next 10 minutes. And I couldn't help but reflect on my journey as an immigrant. I arrived here when I was 13 years old after surviving a war and genocide. And I wondered what would become of my life. I had just gone through 2 years as a refugee, moving from country to country. And after about 4 countries, I finally arrived in Canada, and Canada was going to become my home. You would think that at 13 years old, you don't really remember much or it doesn't really affect you as much. But today, I can tell you that as a grown up, I vividly remember everything that I went through, which makes me think about all the children that are going through the circumstances the world is currently living in now. We have gone through and continue to go through a pandemic. There are wars around the world, and the divisions around race, ethnicity, and religion have consistently been even stronger than before, which makes us wonder, did we really advance as a society? You have to stop and think for a minute and ask yourself, when we saw the Black Lives Matter, the wars that are happening today, the pandemic that came through that, you have to wonder, how do we really advance as a society in terms of advancing inclusivity, diversity, and eliminating things like racism, etc. And a part of me realized that we hadn't really advanced as much as we thought. We were busy doing other things. But so now when I think about how do we build back better, how do we build a better world, I think we have to reflect on our purpose in this world and how we're going to make a mark and leave a legacy. Today, as I look at you all, especially the newcomers and the immigrants who are coming into this new country, in those I saw even so many of you that are in Vietnam and around the world who have joined us today, I can say, don't sell yourself short. I can definitely say, as an immigrant, especially as a newcomer to this country, look at what you already have in your pocket as experience and build on that. Often, as immigrants, we hesitate to step forward as leaders, to take an adventure, because often when you're an immigrant or a newcomer and you've experienced hardship, you want to look for stability before you can even look for what you truly deserve. So I think my greatest advice to each and every one of us is to make time for what we deserve and to really look at our skills and talents, everything we acquired even before coming in a new country, and say, how can I use these skills to build a new profession, a new career in this new country? And don't be afraid to be selfish on what you deserve, because I can tell you that when I created Elevate International, when I started this organization, I approached a lot of leaders, and the first thing is I would ask whether I wanted to raise funds for immigrant women or whether I wanted to raise funds for poor girls in Africa. The bias was still real, but I genuinely wanted to change what leadership looked like across Canada and around the world. So I wanted to tackle gender diversity in leadership. But how do you tell the billion-dollar company that a young woman who is Black, of color, and immigrant wants to tackle gender diversity in leadership? You have to build resilience, and you also have to really believe on what you bring to the table. So my journey has been unorthodox. As I said, I arrived here at 13, graduated in high school. When I finished high school, I started university, and I went on to study journalism, and I graduated with honors in French. After I graduated with a bachelor in journalism, I remember I was the vice president of the student union, and we used to organize this big event that used to invite leaders in our community to learn about multiculturalism, especially what we wanted to showcase the cultures of Africa with people across Atlantic Canada. And one day, my last year, I was the vice president. We hosted a small little pageant to showcase the beauty of African women. And it was really purely just for the show. When that finished, I was one of the participants. Someone approached me and asked me if I wanted to represent New Brunswick. And I didn't really know what that looked like. And then they said, would you like to be Miss New Brunswick? I didn't know what that looked like, but I said to myself, you only live once. As an immigrant woman, why not? So I participated at Miss New Brunswick, and to my surprise, I did win Miss New Brunswick. I was shocked because I didn't really think that someone with my background could win such a title. Long story short, I went on to represent New Brunswick at Miss Canada. And there I was, the first time I was the first runner-up. And I wondered, what was it that was the difference between the winner and myself? Because I was second. So the second year, when they invited me to go back, I sharpened my skills and I was ready to really, really represent myself wholeheartedly with everything that I brought to the table. And my second year, I became Miss Canada. When I became Miss Canada, I was really proud to be able to represent immigrant women and actually all immigrants and diverse people who live in this country, who are contributing to the economy, to the society, and everything that we're looking to make better. After I finished my reign as Miss Canada, it opened so many doors. I was able to travel across Canada as a keynote speaker, and I was able to inspire more girls to dream bigger and do more things. I obtained a scholarship as Miss Canada, which I took. I took the scholarship and it helped me gain my master's in public administration. From there, I worked for the government of Canada in internal audit, and I went on to manage the audit committee for one of the biggest departments across Canada. But something happened in my life. I had identical triplets. Who knew that you could have 3 babies in 5 minutes? That was me. When I had identical triplets, I thought it was the most magical moment of my life. But at the same time, I equally realized that there were women around the world who lose children every day from preventable causes. And as someone who was going through that moment, I quickly realized that I needed to do something more for women. And that journey was a very difficult journey, and we went through a loss and so many other challenges. But I realized that women and girls didn't have a seat at the leadership table, but yet the biggest issues in this world are affecting women and girls. So I decided to create Elevate International. As I come back to this networking aspect, when I created Elevate International, it was really important for me to connect with leaders, community builders, and women and men in our community who were aligned with my values and mission. So I think today, as you all connect, I encourage you all to think about what your values are. First and foremost, what your values are, and the values of your purpose, the mission, the bigger goal, what you want to accomplish in this world. Don't look at today's circumstance, just right here, right now. Don't look at your circumstance and let it define your journey for the rest of your life. Look at your bigger picture and then look at where you are today and say, what do I need to put in place in terms of meeting people, aligning them with my values and my mission so that I can get closer to my goal. So whether you work at McDonald's, but you would like to be the CEO of Microsoft one day, whether you work for Tim Hortons, or whether you work for a big college or university, whatever your goal is, I think you should always look at that and walk backwards to how you align your networking purpose, who you meet and who you build in your environment is going to be very important. If you look at Elevate International's website, you will see that I have board members. That includes Mrs. A, who's with us today. All those are incredible people that I met along the way. And because they aligned with my values, I welcome them in my organization to give us guidance, to open even greater networks, but to also lead the mission. So today, I encourage you all to connect, but connect with a purpose and align them with your values and the bigger vision that you have for your dreams. Thank you, Ranjith.
Wow, connect with the purpose.
Thank you.
Thank you, Solange. Thank you so much. Now, let me take this opportunity to welcome Mrs. Rima Aristocrat, my leader, my mentor. I have no words to describe. She has something to announce so quickly. Mrs. A, floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Ranjith. First of all, let me just say how pleased I am every time I hear Solange speaking. And some of you who don't know Solange so well, how amazing is it that she shared her life story, how resilient she is, how she elevating, inspiring, and supporting women around the world. I was very lucky to get to know her a long time ago. I am on her board. But the biggest thing in my life that happened in January of this year, Solange was competing for a Mrs. World 2022. An event was taking place in Las Vegas. I could not have her going through this immense competition alone, so I surprised her, went down to see her, only to realize the resilience of this amazing lady. And even though I was a little bit disappointed that the country was not there to show their support, because every other members and contenders were, the whole country was there and supporting them. But today I just wanted to say that congratulations, Solange. Despite that had very little support, you are our Canada's Mrs. Canada World 2022. And that is the huge accomplishment, huge resilience for you to even compete and not to mention it, represent the country. So I wanted you to help me congratulate all of you to our 2022 Mrs. Canada World Solange, one and all. Besides other things I do, I'm on a board of directors. eSAX is a Quebec-based cybersecurity organization. Normally, Mark C, who's also the one of the co-founder of the Meetup group, is not here today to make this announcement, but they asked me to make this announcement. CIS 2022, and I hope everybody knows what the CIS stands for. Sorry, is back. And on a website, http://cis2022.ca is a website. And on behalf of the Instagram board members and directors, let me announce that Cybersecurity and Identity Summit 2022 is back on April 26th and 27th. So any of you who would like to attend, that's very important and very useful, the event, the summit, please make a note and mark on your calendar April 26th and 27th. Attendees of this event will have a special privilege to register, use the discount code CIS_Coffee with Ranjith to avoid 25%, to get a 25% discount. So thank you so much. We'll see you then. And Ranjith, I don't know how you do it, but thank you for everything you do. May God bless you all.
Thank you, Mrs. A. Thank you. Now, this event is sponsored by Neolor Networks. Let me welcome Ruben Diaz, Vice President and Chief Revenue Officer, to address the gathering.
Thank you very much, Ranjith. I appreciate the opportunity here today. First of all, to have to follow Ms. Solange and Rima, tough audience to follow there. So Solange, truly inspirational. As an immigrant myself to the United States, I definitely can resonate with some of the struggles, but hey, it's one of those scenarios where we constantly have to be pushing forward, learning and striving to be better and to serve as well at the same time. I wanted to take a couple of minutes just as an opportunity to mention here a little bit about Neolor. I know that Ranjith gave a very nice introduction as to what Neolor does here within the Ottawa community for the past 22 years. So as he mentioned, we are our client base, customer departments, basically their IT partner. And so we not only focus on the infrastructure side of the house, but also have core focus around cybersecurity. We also provide assistance to our client base from a professional services delivery standpoint and a procurement standpoint, whether it's for their hardware, infrastructure equipment, or licensing. So the message that I wanted to step back or provide to all in attendance today is that we are always constantly looking for talented individuals. So I please invite you to review our website for job opportunities that we are usually posting on a regular basis. And also I invite you to share your resume with Ranjith for us to take a review and perhaps have further conversations. Again, thank you all for attendance here today and for the opportunity to speak with all of you.
Thank you, Ruben. Thank you very much. So now this floor is open for the networking. I'm pretty sure you will at least make 5 connections in the next 45 minutes. Thank you. The floor is open for networking.
So thank you, Ranjith. What great knowledge. Let's give everybody a round of applause, shall we? Now, folks, when we go back to the networking, a few things you need to know. Make sure that you turn your camera and microphone on. They can be found at the bottom of the screen. You just have to left click each one once. Number 2, you're only talking to people who are in the same room as you. So if you're sitting in a room by yourself, there's no one else to talk to. It can be quite unnerving, boring. You need to double click. You go from one table to another by double clicking one of the empty white seats. Then you're only talking to people in that table. Any questions? If you're looking to hire, if you have a job opportunity, please post them in the general chat for other people to see. Happy networking, everybody, and we hope to see you at the next event. Thank you so much.